Are you ready?
I've been ready.
Don't give me any of your crap.
Come on, we're wasting people's time.
Hi there. Thanks for diving into Two Peas, Same Pod, the humorous podcast of family unity that proves we're all in this comedic roller coaster of life together. Here are your hosts, the father and daughter duo, Eric and Tovah Weinstein.
Welcome to Two Peas.
Same pod.
Woohoo! For those of you just tuning in and joining us, we're a father-daughter podcast.
Father-daughter.
There you go. A father-daughter podcast of pretty much everything.
Is that like a Fat Albert?
What do you mean a Fat Albert?
Father-daughter.
No.
Hey.
No, Fat Albert was, hey.
Get out of my way.
Well, that was from the all-time classic Kenan Thompson version of Fat Albert. Before we get too far afield, for those of you just tuning in for the first time, we're a father-daughter podcast.
Father-daughter.
Pretty much about everything. We cover everything in three segments. The first segment is called World Peas, where we cover a variety of topics across the world of pop culture. Mm-hmm. Second is Peas Are Family.
Peas Are Family. Our weekly tribute to Sister Sledge.
Our bi-weekly tribute, as well as a discussion from our family folklore of things that have gone on with us over the years.
Ooh.
And then we close out with Peas of Information, which is where I toss Tovah a few hot questions and get even
hotter answers.
Anyway.
Okay, Sean Evans. You guys have the same haircut.
I think he actually shaves his head entirely, right?
Oh, you think he can grow a head of hair?
No, I think he's bald like me, but I think he shaves off the sides like your brother.
I actually had a weird, vivid dream that we were like at someone's birthday party, and you had dyed the sides of your head brown, and me and Josh, like your hair, like brown.
My hair is brown.
But like, no, not right now.
What do you mean?
It's gray.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it was brown when I was
It was brown, but you had dyed it like the sides like dark brown, and like we hadn't noticed until we were singing like happy birthday to this person. And then Josh looks up and goes, "Wait, Dad, when did you dye your hair?" And Mom was like, "Oh, this morning."
I have no idea what that's all about, but let's move into
Vivid dreams because of my medicine, people.
Yeah. Let's move into our World Peas segment. It's time for World Peas. Okay, we just paused there for a moment to insert the sound bite.
I just need to get this out of the way with the show that I'm watching. I was going to recommend to the listeners. I think it's called Running Point, or it's the new one with Kate Hudson, Brenda Song, Schmidt, Max Greenfield from New Girl.
And from The Neighborhood.
Guess who was just on it?
Who was just on it?
I don't know if it's ham or cheese, but the guy from American Housewives who was in Country Bears, who was one of the police officers with the mustache. Yeah, he was one of the assistant coaches who had to step up, and he's pretty funny. That show's hilarious. It's like another Ted Lasso. I think you and Mom would really like that show.
What streaming service is that on?
Netflix.
Okay.
What do you got?
Well, I got a few things.
Okay. Role reversal, people.
Yes. Let's start with one of our favorite TV shows, a big, heaping, steaming pile of garbage that is back on for the second half of its first season, Dr. Odyssey.
Garbage? What are you talking about? It has Philippa Sue.
It does have Philippa Sue, who many of you may know as Alexander Hamilton's wife in the original Broadway.
Bastard, orphan, son of a whore.
And a Scotsman. Anyway.
One time I walked in on my dad listening to Hamilton and the ASL.
Yeah, we've talked about that on the show
hilarious.
Before.
You can't.
In the meantime, yes, Philippa Sue stars as like a nurse practitioner. And
anyone else the listeners would know? The captain?
Yeah, Captain Don Johnson.
I don't know.
And I think people would know, I think his name is Joshua Jackson.
The doctor?
The Dr. Odyssey.
We're those people who, once we recognize someone, we need to figure it out, or else it's just on the tip of our tongue and we're going to punch someone in the face.
You got to admit that I'm usually able to figure it out. It doesn't take me that long.
It doesn't take you that long. Mom's kind of getting there.
Yeah, she is.
With some names. Sometimes she's just dead wrong, though.
Sometimes totally off.
So I introduced this show to my parents, and every single time I start watching a show in our main room, it becomes a show that we all adapt to and that I cannot therefore watch without them. So I started watching Dr. Odyssey on the elliptical past fall because it took a little bit of a hiatus and now it's back. I like how shows still do that. Like, they're still coming out with new stuff. They're on a schedule. Unlike all these streaming platforms, they don't have any sort of schedule. They tell us spring 2026. Yeah, BS. Bullshit. I'm calling BS.
But in the meantime, let me just say, this is the little one sentence synopsis from IMDb about Dr. Odyssey. It's subtitled Big Deck Energy. This is what it says. Max is the new onboard doctor for a luxury cruise ship where the small but mighty medical team navigate unique medical crises and each other miles from shore. Bum, bum, ba. So,
and this is one of those TV shows you can kind of predict what's going to happen throughout the episodes.
God, yes.
But that's kind of the charm about it.
It is. It's, I don't know, it's like a cross between ER,
Royal Pains,
House, and The Love Boat.
Yeah. No, it really is a cross between House and the Love Boat.
And Royal Pains, because they do have to figure out sometimes what's going on.
Yeah, so people, if you're looking for a show, and this is on live TV, this week was a 2-part episode.
Oh, yeah, it's
and Mom was like, this better not end in a two-parter. And we were like, of course it's gonna. They can't reattach his leg in the last minute of the show. Sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, it's available on ABC, but also Hulu. Mm-hmm. You can catch it on Hulu. It's very bingeable. It's kind of hilarious. It's funny. It's light.
It's Gen Z.
I guess. You mean my Gen?
No, it's Gen.
Are you Gen Z? That's after millennial?
Yeah, Josh is a millennial, I think. Or he's on the cusp.
He's at the very end of millennial and in the beginning of the next one. All right. So check out Dr. Odyssey. Not to be confused with the Honda Odyssey, of which I'm still driving.
Yeah, he drives a van, people. If you see him driving around the 01701 or 01702, just give a beep, beep, wave. We should get like a bumper sticker.
We should, but by the way, the van, chicks dig it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Chicks dig it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your mother digs it. It's the only chick we need. Last episode, I should say, we talked a little bit about the upcoming Academy Awards and Oscars, and we made our predictions, all of which were entirely wrong.
We didn't talk about the Oscars?
No, we haven't. No, this is our first episode since we talked about that.
You know what? I like the opening of the Oscars. I wasn't a theater kid per se.
Yeah.
But everyone on the internet was like, we finally won, theater kids everywhere, because they opened the Oscars singing Wicked and Oz from Oz or whatever that was.
No, they sang a song from Wicked. They sang a song twice during the show from The Wiz.
The Wiz, that's
and
what
then
it was.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz.
People were saying Ariana was kind of pitchy.
Who? Randy Jackson? Yo, kind of pitchy dog.
I love Randy. Remember that episode of iCarly where the principal had like a shrine to Randy Jackson? That was a weird show.
Yeah, Gibby. Oh, and Neville Papelbon.
Oh, Peppermint.
Whatever.
You'll rue this day, Carly Shay.
You'll rue it.
Or Olive Tapenade.
Oh, God.
What about
I do like an Olive Tapenade.
I know, you actually do like an Olive Tapenade.
Okay, so anyway, on the Oscars, I do have a few comments. Okay, I am glad Timothy Chardonnay and his movie didn't win a damn thing.
He was so upset about it.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he?
See it on his face.
Wasn't he wearing that banana yellow?
Yeah, it was like a butter.
Butter yellow leather tux or something. Mm-hmm. What a tool bag.
No. I didn't mind it.
98.5 tool bag of the day, Timothy Chalamet.
Is that what they do?
They do a tool bag of the day every afternoon. And so he's my tool bag of forever. So I'm glad Dune 2.
Isn't he one of our people?
I mean, he might be. I've heard that. But, okay. Anyway, I'm thrilled he didn't win. I'm thrilled that Carla Sofia Gascon didn't win after all that.
I can't believe they showed her.
She was there.
They made a joke and they showed her on camera.
They torched her.
Yeah.
But yet, but I was disappointed that Demi Moore didn't win. Now, listen, I haven't seen Anora, so I haven't seen Mikey Madison, and I haven't seen her performance. But Demi Moore, she's had a long career. She's had some good roles and some not so good roles. And even though I haven't seen The Substance, it seems to me that this would have been probably the closest she's going to come to actually winning an Academy Award.
Has she never won?
She's never won, and I can't imagine. I don't think she's been nominated, even though she was great in Indecent Proposal many years ago with Robert Redford and Woody Harrelson, who your mother loves. Loves Woody Harrelson. Insert laughter there.
Does she actually?
Oh, God, your mother hates him. Hates him. And it might stem from White Men Can't Jump, that movie. I don't know why she didn't like him there. Not only was Woody Harrelson in that movie with Wesley Snipes, but so was Rosie Perez. And your mother is not a fan of Rosie Perez.
Oh, is that the one who was on Dancing with the Stars?
As a guest judge?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Your mother, not a fan.
I'm so pissed off because...
Okay, why?
You know the Traitors?
Yes, oh, God.
Did you watch the season of Dancing with the Stars with Gabby Windey?
No.
That was Charlie D'Amelio's season.
No, we didn't watch that because that was when it was on Disney.
We should watch that season. I love Gabby
We started
Windey.
watching that season, and then we bailed.
Oh, yeah, because we were like, Charlie's a scam. She's a professional dancer. Yeah, we should really start watching it. I love Gabby Windey. Sorry, that was a sidetrack.
A total sidetrack. Just getting back to the Oscars real quick. I was thrilled to see Adrian Brody win again. I love him and his work.
There was some controversy about him and his speech.
Oh, yeah.
He just they kept trying to play the music over him.
I love that. No, I love when I'm like, you're not playing me off.
No, but he just went on and on and on and on.
I was thrilled to see Zoe Saldana win. She's done some excellent work over the years. Great work in Out of the Furnace, a very small independent film starring her, Christian Bale. I think Forrest Whitaker is in that movie. Fantastic movie. Casey Affleck is in that movie. Very troubling story, but just a great movie. Fantastic movie. I was happy to see Kieran Culkin win.
Yes, me too.
He was right up against his brother, and I put that in quotes.
Jeremy Strong
from Sudbury.
Okay, I liked him too, and now he's going to get another kid.
Oh, yes. Now he's going to get a fourth. Now, just speaking of Jeremy Strong and Sudbury, it recently came to my attention, without getting into gory details, that I have found that Chris Evans, also allegedly from Sudbury. Now, Chris Evans is Captain America.
And Chris Evans and I have the same tooth matching.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, what is it called?
Technical dentist.
Technical dentist.
Which is not the same as a DMD or a DDS. This is somebody who has a degree, a certificate in technical dentistry. They're the people who remake teeth and molds and things like that.
Mm-hmm. They sent me to a lab, and then he got up close and personal.
I know. We talked about this a couple of weeks
ago. I know. I posted something about it, too. But not a couple of weeks ago. I think at the beginning of our career as host.
But I do want to go back and say that I've recently learned that Chris Evans, Captain America.
Yes, I know.
Before he moved to Sudbury, not only lived in Framingham until he was 11 years old, lived in the house of somebody that I'm friendly with.
No.
I looked it up, and I have discovered that I've got the receipts.
I'm sitting down.
Okay,
it's
well,
a good
I'm not
thing I was sitting down.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So we actually know somebody who lives in a house that Chris Evans grew up in. Not going to say it right now.
Bleep it.
That's our little Oscars wrap up. We were wrong about everything. I do want to say, lastly, director Sean Baker, who directed Anora. He did a movie, I think, back in 2017, 2018, pre-pandemic, but close to it, called The Florida Project.
Oh, I saw that.
You saw that?
They played it for us in school.
Oh, wow. That is a very depressing...
About the homeless kids in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, well, not really homeless. They live in a motel.
No, barely.
Well, barely. And it really reveals that's all based on a real story. It was based on an article from the New York Times that talked about these people who are on the vague periphery of society in Kissimmee, Florida, who provide a lot of the service industry support for Disney World and the other theme parks, but how they barely survive. And it's an excellent movie, but very, very
it's a tough
sad.
Watch.
It is a tough watch. I'll go with that.
I didn't know he directed. So is Anora kind of similar vibes to that?
No, Anora is about the sex trade.
I know, but is it similar vibes?
I don't know. I haven't watched it
Similar
yet.
directing?
I don't know. I'm going to have to watch it.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to watch it too with Nick, I think.
Okay. So, at this point, why don't we move into our Peas Our Family segment? It's time for Peas Our Family.
Peas Our Family. family. Come on.
So, we have a story to tell.
But first, we just wanted to give a little bit of love and support to our Framingham friends, the Skinnions.
You graduated high school with two of them, the twins.
Mm-hmm. Did Josh go to school with one of the older ones or no?
One of the older ones is a year younger than Josh.
Okay.
The oldest one is a year younger than Josh, I think.
Okay, well, we wanted to give some love and support to them. Unfortunately, their father, John Skinnion, passed away about a week ago.
Maybe a little more than a week ago.
And we just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out and a little bit of love.
Yeah, we want to give a little shout out to them. I'm not sure they listen, but hopefully they will. Somebody will push this in their direction. But I would like to say their father was a great guy. Mm-hmm. John Skinnion, really, really great guy. Yeah. Framingham police officer, canine officer. Mm-hmm. And John and I had known each other for a long time because I used to do a lot of criminal defense work when I was a younger lawyer, and he was a younger police officer, and he was the canine officer. And we'd often run into each other in the hallway at the courthouse, and we'd say hello, and we'd chat a little bit, and we just got to know each other a little bit. I'm not saying I'm friends with him, but we were friendly. Mm-hmm. Okay? And he was a great guy. He really was. But I do have a funny story, kind of. When we bought our house in 1998, we had to do a lot of renovation work. The people who owned the house before us were pigs. And I mean, literally on the walkthrough, Mom and I saw like hardened dog poop on the carpet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they smoke like chimneys. The whole house reeked of smoke. We had to really gut the house and strip everything out. We threw out all the carpets. We took out all the curtains and threw those away. We stripped wallpaper and recovered some wallpaper. It was awful. Just awful. But
what was it?
Awful. It took about 13 to 16 weeks, give or take, to get the house in livable condition. We had a lot of work.
Quicker than next door.
True.
People have been working on that house for like 2 years.
Nah, since last winter, but it's not moving very quick.
I know.
In any event, we had to live with grandmother for a couple of months.
How was that?
A bucket of fun.
You pay rent?
No.
Oh, very nice of her.
We had our own wing.
She used to charge you rent when you were younger.
I know. Maybe I think we contributed something for like food and stuff.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, we lived there for a couple of months, but what we would do is occasionally we would drive over to the house and check on the progress.
Yeah, there's been some break-ins in our neighborhood, people.
Yeah, but I'm talking about 1998.
Someone stole my wallet, but I don't think my car was locked, so that might have been a me issue. But no, actually it wasn't a me issue. Thankfully, because someone went in my car and stole my wallet.
No, but you left the car unlocked like you did last night.
Did I?
Yeah, Mom went outside and locked it. Come on, man.
What's that?
All right. Anyway, so getting back to John Skinnion. So in 1998, within that like 14, 16 week period that we were doing the renovation work, Mom picked up Josh at daycare because he was a little kid. And they stopped at the house on the way to grandmother's. Mm-hmm. And they wanted to check on progress. Mom wanted to check on progress. She went in there.
I'm sure Josh wanted to check on the progress.
And the house was very, very cold. And Mom discovered that the window in the main bathroom was open.
I thought it was in your bathroom.
No, it was in the main bathroom. And she was concerned and a little freaked out. Maybe somebody had broken into the house. There really wasn't much in the house at the time. I mean, there was a lot of junk and there was a lot of like contractor materials because they were doing our kitchen at the time. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. It was in the period of time that they were building out the kitchen. And Mom decided to call the police. And a police officer, went to the house. And it turned out, at the time, it was the canine officer. And so the canine officer went into the house and, with the dog and a flashlight, because we didn't have a lot of lights in the house because we just weren't living there. And so he put on what he could, and then he took a walk around the house, which isn't that big or wasn't that big at the time. And he found really nothing at all. But the dining room in our home used to have a French door that opened onto a brick patio. People, I do not mean to describe our house as any elaborate or fancy location. It's just that was the style door that they put on going out to the patio.
Please, people, anywhere I live can't be fancy.
Truth. So, Elaine said Mom said he went out to the patio, and we had a greenhouse in the back of the house too, that covered this patio. So he was out there, and he came in, and he just asked Mom a few questions about how long we've been in the house, how long we lived there, or whatever. Anyways, he said it was all clear, everything was fine, and the next day, literally the next day, I bump into him in the courthouse.
How'd you know it was him?
Canine officer. When Mom said, she didn't get his name, but when she said canine officer.
Okay.
So I happened to see him standing outside of courtroom 2, which is the jury courtroom. And I said to him, I said to him, so John, I hear you paid a visit to our house. I gave him the address. I said, to our house last night. He goes, oh, was that your wife and your son? I said, yeah. I said, we bought that house in October, and, we're doing a lot of work there, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, your wife told me. But let me ask you this, he says, with like a little bit of a pause and a very serious look in his face. He said, what's going on outside in that greenhouse? And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, well, my dog got a little worked up out there. And that only means one thing. And he didn't have to say it. I said, well, we just bought the house in October. At the end of October. We actually closed on October 28th.
Greens don't grow that fast.
I said, so it's certainly not the season. He goes, no, but she can smell underneath, or he can smell, underneath the bricks or whatever it is. There's something.
The dog's name was Max.
Yeah,
let me just check.
He said he can definitely sense that there is something there. He said, what's your plan? And he's sort of just jerking me around. I can tell by the look in his face. And I said, we're actually tearing off that greenhouse, and we're just going to pour a concrete patio right there. He goes, that's a good idea. And I said, yeah, I thought so. I said, I'm not so much into the weed or the weeding.
Maybe it was like a precursor of what was to come in that house.
You mean with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was a precursor.
We used to be a weed-free zone.
I don't think you ever used to be a weed-free zone.
Well, no, because
you bought the house with the greenhouse going.
Well, yeah, but we tore it off, and we tore up the bricks, and we ended up building on an addition back there.
It's rooted. It's in the ground, baby.
It's buried under our family room now, because that's what's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we just sort of joked about it, and he was just teasing me in a good-natured way. Obviously, he knew me from the courthouse, so, I wasn't going to be out there violating the law at the time, because marijuana was still illegal at the time. But I just want to say he was always a great guy, always good to talk to, respectful, treated people fairly, treated people well. I was always happy to chat with him and respected his work and his work ethic. So I was sorry and saddened to hear that he had passed away. I didn't know he had been ill, but rest in peace, John Skinnion.
Mm-hmm. And thinking of all their family members, especially Michael and Dominic, who I graduated with, but sending love and rest in peace, John.
Rest in peace. Now, why don't we move into the Piece of Information segment? Let's learn more. Piece of information. Piece of information. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about your nightly routine after you get home from work?
My nightly routine, you ask?
Yeah, so when you come home,
it depends, because I'll close up shop. So I'll usually go home around like 7:40, probably. But yesterday the cleaners came, so I didn't get home till around 8, I think.
Yeah.
So it was a little late. But, I like to turn on Modern Family. The other day I turned on Abbott Elementary, just while I'm eating dinner. And I like to digest for a second, and then I like to get in bed and watch my TikToks and play on my phone.
You like to get in bed just without telling anybody?
Sometimes I give a little, hi guys, I'm going to bed.
Barely. More likely, you come home, you walk in, where's my dinner? Why isn't my dinner ready?
Well, yesterday I couldn't cause a commotion because we're supposed to have a meeting.
I like that. Yes, you come in like a tornado. Okay, Franklin, poopy, stinky face, Franklin.
I don't interact with people all day.
Anyway, so you come in, you bring the party with you. You're like Tovah, the party starter.
Of course.
You come in, you bring the party, you make demands about your dinner. Where's my dinner? Where's my effing dinner?
Where's my
Basically,
dinner?
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, okay, because we're here to cater to you, apparently. And then you say, I don't want to watch Jeopardy, but I make you wait to the end.
Yeah, I don't want to watch Jeopardy, and I don't want to watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
And then at 8 o'clock, you usually put on Modern Family. So I put on Modern Family. We watch Modern Family while we eat or we finish eating dinner.
I usually get through like an episode, if even.
Yeah, usually one episode. And then, like, without telling anybody, you usually just get up and leave and dump your crap in the sink and then walk away expecting your mother and I to clean up after you.
No. Yesterday was an exception.
Yeah, please.
My OCD brain was having a moment, and I just had to go to bed.
And then, but you just disappeared into your room, and Mom looks at me and she goes, did Tovah go to bed? I'm like, well, of course she did.
You guys get all in a tizzy, but sometimes I'm going to bed.
Yes, but you've left us holding the bag and watching Modern Family, which we like.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a little ridiculous.
You could be watching The Neighborhood. Is that
No, it's just ridiculous that you just get up and slink out of the room quietly without telling anybody where you're going, and then we're still watching these episodes of Modern Family or whatever else. All right, you are a big fan of Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And you go there frequently. So do you have anything particular that you like at Trader Joe's these days? Is there something that's come out recently or whatever? Mm-hmm. Tell me.
I don't know if it's come out recently, but I have
hold on. Yeah, fixation. So if I had to guess about one.
You know one.
One is that container in the refrigerated case of bruschetta. Mm-hmm. Bruschetta
sauce. One of them. It's the green container with the red outline.
You could just be drinking that thing.
Oh my God, it's delicious. I put it on everything. I put it on my chicken. I put it on my salmon. It's delicious.
It's like Frank's Red Hot.
I can't get enough of it. So
Hold on. It's like Frank's Red Hot.
I put that shit on everything.
Okay.
And then, do you know my other one?
I don't.
This one I haven't been that fixated on right now because of the bruschetta.
Oh, yeah, the bruschetta has recently taken over, but for a while, and still, you were getting a lot of the mashed potatoes.
No, it's not even that, but that's good.
Yeah,
I think that's got to stop.
It's got to stop. Yeah, we have a whole big thing about that.
Yeah, we have a whole rant about that and whatever.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the Caesar salad dip.
Yeah, that's coming. I mean, you've gotten that a few times.
Yeah, I've gotten it twice now.
Okay.
It's good to dip carrots in.
It is, yeah.
Honestly, if you don't keep kosher like us, it'd be nice to make like a chicken Caesar salad wrap at home because you could use that as like the dressing.
But
just get romaine,
You're
chicken. Right. We can make like Caesar salad, but it's not fulfilled. We can make salmon Caesar salad.
Yeah, I have no interest.
I think you just pooped my pants.
Nice. And for those of you that didn't hear Tovah, she just said,
I think I pooped my pants.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have the bruschetta. Which
hold on. Never trust a fart.
I know. That one I was
okay.
A little squeak at the end.
Okay.
So we have the bruschetta, we have the Caesar salad dip, and we have the mashed potatoes that do not look like mashed potatoes when you open the bag up.
No. A couple of weeks ago, you were on a tear. You had to rush over to Trader Joe's.
I had to.
You had to. You told me you were going that very afternoon.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was a fraud. That whole thing was a fraud.
Explain to the audience.
So I saw on TikTok, I'm very easily influenced people. I don't know.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to act like I know that reference. I'm very easily influenced. Like, I'll see 1 second of a video and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. And I can be a good convincer as well. So I'm learning some tips and tricks. But I see that a girl, she's like pleading. She's begging with Trader Joe's corporate that they see this video because she said they discontinued her favorite seasoning, which is the pizza seasoning from Trader Joe's. And I was like, oh my God. She explained it as it's the perfect blend of marinara, oregano, cheesiness. And I don't know how because whatever. But I believe
can tell you, nutritional yeast has a cheesy-ish flavor, even though it's not dairy.
I believed her. She said that's the only seasoning that she needs for her chicken, for her ground meat. She said that's the only thing she needs.
Is that what she needs?
The only seasoning she ever needs.
What other seasonings does she need?
None. The only seasoning she needs is the pizza seasoning. So I go to Trader Joe's. I'm like, they said it's discontinued, but I saw a couple other TikToks saying that their Trader Joe's were stocked and they were sending it to this girl because fans were seeing it and then being influenced to buy it and then send it on over her way because she was so distraught. She had a breakdown. She had a breakdown in the Trader Joe's because they just continue stuff left and right. I'm going to go to Trader Joe's. So I go, no pizza seasoning. I'm distraught. I'm like, Dad, no pizza seasoning. He's like, yeah, we definitely have some at home somewhere. I'm like digging through the seasoning cabinets, find the pizza seasoning, put it on a piece of chicken. Disgusting. It's disgusting.
It is.
It was so bad. It didn't taste really like that.
We can actually
much.
throw it away. I don't want
Yeah. It was maybe expired. That's probably seasonings probably don't expire. I also need to try the cottage cheese bagels. The cottage cheese bagels or the yogurt bagels. I might do that today. And clean up after myself.
Just explain to the audience what you're talking about.
Let me explain quickly before we end off here because
33 minutes. Go ahead.
On TikTok,
I still have 2 more questions.
There's a trend going around on TikTok that you can substitute Greek yogurt, non-fat Greek yogurt, or non-fat cottage cheese, and you can combine it with flour, baking soda, a little bit of salt, and basically might be baking powder. I don't know. And it makes like a dough. It's like limited ingredient dough, and so you can make a bunch like maybe 4 bagels out of this one dough. You put everything but the bagel seasoning on it, cut into it. It's protein bagel. I need to try it. This better not let me down. I've seen so many things. People are saying, how they boil bagels. Sometimes people are saying you don't have to do that, but if you want a more bagel consistency. So I'm going to try. I'm going to see what's floating my boat here. Maybe not today, but got to try.
All right. Last question, actually. I only had one more question. I broke it into...
You can't count.
2 lines. No, I can't, and my eyesight's terrible.
So is your hearing.
What? All right. Everybody ready for this trip that we're taking? I know it's a total first world question, but we also everybody in on this?
I'm in.
What's your plan? Are you doing any planning? Are you just sitting here expecting me to serve as your travel
I'm not
agent?
expecting anything from you.
Oh, really?
Besides the Amex.
Besides payment. Yeah. Okay. Well, just to be clear.
Yes, I know. If we wanted to do anything that's not part of the family or whatever, we have to take matters into our own hands.
But there is a cabin credit. Each cabin has
whatever.
onboard credit.
But so, yeah, I have an itinerary for each day, and it's packed by hour. And I even have options for lunch off the island.
Oh, you've been looking up restaurants
and
things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm more on top of it than you, I think.
You totally are.
Because I started looking up 2 of them we need tenders off. I think 3 places we can just walk off. Hydra, no cars at all.
I know. The island has no cars.
I know. What's up with that?
It's like Gilligan's Island.
I think we should do a cooking class as a family on one of them. Me and Nick, when we did one in
Mexico,
in Cozumel, we substituted avocado for the shrimp and the ceviche. So they had like substitutions, but I think like oysters are a big thing over there. I know.
Well,
I know.
Only one person among us would eat those, and it's not me, you, your mother, or Nick.
They had fried chicken livers the other day at Davio's.
Oh, yeah, we took the doctor out for his birthday.
Happy birthday, Josh! Shout out to Josh. Happy birthday, Josh! And shout out to the Covarrubiases. Actually,
that's right. You saw them.
Kathy, Ann Binder, Covarrubias, Lino, David, and Molly. It was so great to see them. We actually ran into each other at the wake.
Oh, yeah.
For John Skinnion.
Which you had never been to a wake before.
I had never been to a wake, and that was my first open casket wake.
Yeah.
And I don't have thoughts on it, really, because it's a religious thing.
Yeah, of course.
But my stomach had like an uneasy kind of, like when I was in the room, it was kind of like my stomach was just a little oogie, and since he was a police officer, they had changing of the guards so it was kind of cool
guarding the casket.
But yeah, there was just that feeling in my stomach. It was, but I kind of couldn't like stop looking.
Okay, it's like a car crash.
Yes, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Of course not. I say that respectfully. Yes. I'm not very comfortable at wakes either. I've only been to a handful, and I didn't go to one. I give you a lot of credit. You went when you're younger at 24, but yeah, I didn't go to my first one till I think I was in my late 40s.
I wanted to support, and that didn't really like play a factor into me not going. I hope that doesn't persuade other Jewish people to not go to wakes. But it was an experience, and it's nice to experience different cultures, especially differences, because that's not something that is done in the
Jewish culture.
Judaism. Son. In the Jewish culture.
All right. Judaism. Son. We'll sign off on this week of Two Peas.
Same pod.
Thanks.
Peace out.
And peas out.
See ya.
Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, bi-weekly. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to Two Peas, Same Pod, hosted by Eric and Tovah Weinstein. Please subscribe and join us next time as we continue to share humorous anecdotes, funny mishaps, and comical observations from our own lives.
Two Peas, Same Pod is produced by 1253 Studios, bringing always humorous and sometimes thought-provoking conversations to you through your favorite podcasting sites. Creative Content and Marketing Director Tovah Weinstein. Executive Producer and Chief Editor Eric Weinstein. Music by MBB. Find his work on YouTube by searching for MBB Music or at mbbmusic.com. Special thanks for the intro, outro, and trailer voiceover to Jordan Rich of CBS Boston Radio and Chart Productions, providing audio and voiceover recording and production, as well as podcast production and support. Visit Jordan at chartproductions.com. Funding for Two Peas Same Pod is provided by the Law Office of Eric Weinstein and listeners like you. Please consider subscribing and supporting this podcast. Until we meet again, this was Two Peas Same Pod, a 1253 Studios production.